Good morning. Welcome to the morning on AUTV. Today is 13 February, Friday, 2026. I am Samira Franklin. Coming up with the headlines. Government sets new farm gate cocoa price at 41,392 Ghana cedis per ton for 2025 to 2026 season. Minority demands removal of cocoa board seal over cocoa sector crisis. Mahama departs Accra for UA Heads of State Summit in Addis Ababa. Ghana AIDS Commission to distribute condoms nationwide on February 13th ahead of Vows Day. Pressure groups urge Lands Minister to revoke mining lease of health goldfields. News in detail. Minister of Finance, Dr. Castle Atoforsen, has officially announced a sweeping crackdown on the Ghana's cocoa board, ordering a simultaneous forensic audit and criminal investigation to the institution's operation over the past 8 years. Addressing a high-stakes press conference in Accra today, Thursday, 12 February 2026, Dr. Forsen revealed that Cabinet has sanctioned the Attorney General to spearhead the probe to uncover the root causes on the board's crippling 32.9 billion Ghana cedis debt stock. Finance Minister directive comes in a storm in the cocoa sector, characterized by a liquidity crunch that has left over 50,000 metric tons of cocoa beans stranded at ports and license buying campaigns, owing banks more than 10 million Ghana cedis. A legacy of uncontrolled spending. A central focus of the investigations will be what the minister described as wasteful and uncontrolled expenditure practices that have persisted since 2017. Dr. Forsen highlighted several financial black holes that have alleged bled and board dry, including the jute sack scandal, report of 80,000 barrels of jute sacks valued at $48 million being added in 2024, despite a present existing stockpile of 150,000 bales at the ports. Cocoa Road contract. Inherited contracts for Cocoa Road totaling 26 billion Ghana cedis with over 21 billion Ghana cedis incurred without budgetary allocations between 2018 and 2021. Rollover contract losses. The servicing of legacy contracts for 333,767 tons sold at $2,600 per ton, a price far below current farm gate rates, leading to massive losses of the state on every ton delivered. Cabinet has directed the Ministry of Finance to initiate immediate reforms at Cocoa Board to streamline operations and cap costs. Wasteful and uncontrolled expenditure practices must be curtailed immediately, Dr. Forsen declared, reaffirming that accountability is no longer optional.
The world market price has dropped significantly from the average of 7,200 tons to 4,100 per ton, making Ghana's cocoa beans uncompetitive and creating liquidity challenges. To address this, the Producer Price Review Committee, PPRC, met this afternoon under my chairmanship to assess the challenges facing the sector and review the producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop year. In order to cushion the farmer, the PPRC has recommended that the farmer be paid 90% of the achieved gross FOB of $4,200 per ton to mitigate the adverse impact on the as a result of the fall in the world market price. As a result of that, the PPRC thereby announces that effective today, Thursday, 12 February 2026, the new producer price for the remainder of the 2025-2026 crop season will now be 41,392 Ghana cedis per ton and 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag. This measure has become necessary to reflect the reality of the world market price of cocoa, ensure the injection of immediate liquidity for expedited payment of farmers, and guarantee the sustainability of our cocoa sector.
The minority in Parliament has called on the government to ask the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abe, following the recent crisis in the cocoa sector. Speaking at a press briefing on Thursday, February 12, the ranking member on the Economic and Development Committee of Parliament, Kojo Opono Nkrumah, outlined the minority's concerns. So we, in the minority, have a number of requests to the government. All of this has come about because of the reset and Cocoa Board did. And that is why, respectfully, we asked the President to relieve the Cocoa Board CEO of his responsibilities at this point in time, he said. Mr. Opono Nkrumah also called on the government to protect cocoa farms in line with past practices, aims the recent challenges, including huge debt and the inability of the government to pay farms. We are asking the government that in previous times, when cocoa prices fell in the government absorbed the shock and protected the cocoa farmer. The NDC government should absorb the cost of what they have done and protect the cocoa farm and restore at least 3,625 that they promised. This 2,800 or so that they are promising is totally unacceptable, he added. Highlighting the growing discontent among farmers, Mr. Opono Nkrumah warned that demonstrations could be imminent. Already, we are receiving messages from cocoa farmers who says that if this is what is going on to happen, they are going to demonstrate in a number of days. And if they do, we in these caucuses will join them to the streets to this demonstration, he hinted. His comments come after the government set a new farm gate cocoa price at 41,392 Ghana cedis per ton for the 2025-2026 season, equivalent to 2,587 Ghana cedis per bag, effective immediately.
When you manage an economy with artificial adjustments, the real effect will be realized on cocoa farms, in transport fares, in electricity bills, in school fees. Now you are beginning to see the real impact of some of the things that we are talking about. Already when you go into the cocoa growing areas, I was in my areas just a few days ago. A lot of young people are already not going into cocoa because they say the older folk who went into it, they don't see a transformation in their life. It's left with the old, elderly, poor on the farms. When you do this, what is going to happen in subsequent years is that even those ones will not be going into the cocoa production. If they won't sell their cocoa farms to Galamsey operators, God knows what they will do. They will abandon their farms. Now, what it means also is that the productivity, the growth, the jobs, and the incomes that come from the cocoa sector, the foreign exchange, that comes from the cocoa center in subsequent years is all going to dwindle. And so we in the minority have a number of requests to government. All of this has come about because of the reset that Cocoa Board did. And that is why, respectfully, we ask the president to relieve the Cocoa Board CEO of his responsibilities at this point in time. Number two, we are asking the government that in previous times when cocoa prices fell and the government absorbed the shock and protected the cocoa farmer, the NDC government should absorb the cost of what they have done and protect the cocoa farmer and restore at least the 3,625 that they promised. This 2,800 or so that they are promising is totally unacceptable. Already we are receiving messages from cocoa farmers who say that if this is what is going to happen, they are going to demonstrate in a number of these. And if they do, we in this caucus, we will join them on the streets to do this demonstration.
Bailouts would have been necessary rather than reducing the producer price of cocoa. We warn this government over the reckless overvaluation of our currency, as it will affect our economy. Former Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam.
I am even surprised that the IMF is sleeping over this. Because we developed this strategy in consultation with the IMF as a requirement, one of the requirements for implementing the IMF program. I'm really surprised that the IMF has gone to sleep on this. And this government is recklessly managing the cocoa sector, which has brought us to this unprecedented crisis in the sector. Given the scale of the crisis in the sector now, a sector which is one of the most important pillars of our economy, one expected the government to give Cocoa Board a bailout, as we did during the MPP time, rather than reducing the producer price for cocoa. A bailout would have been necessary rather than reducing the producer price for cocoa. A bailout would have been necessary, particularly at the time we are told that the economy is strong and resilient. They said they are better managers of the economy. An economy that is better managed cannot pay cocoa farmers. An economy that is better managed reduces the producer price of cocoa. We warned this government about the reckless overvaluation of our currency. We warned them several times that these dollars they are pumping and pumping into the economy, that reckless intervention. Last year alone, they intervened to the tune of 10 billion United States dollars. The trend has continued. That reckless overvaluation of our currency will affect our economy. Because those of you who understand economics know that when you overvalue your currency, it adversely affects the export competitiveness of your country. Government should know, because they have economists amongst them. They should know that anytime you are implementing a policy, there are trade-offs. There are trade-offs, and therefore by overvaluing the currency as a policy, they should know that other sectors will suffer. So what a responsible government has to do is to achieve what we call policy equilibrium.
President John Dramani Mahama has left Accra to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, to attend the 39th Assembly of Heads of State and Governments of the African Union. President Mahama, who is leading several union engagements, including re-preparation, gender and financial inclusion, will co-host several high-level side events during the summit. He will also host a breakfast event on Saturday on the Accra Reset Initiative thereby Adisa Reckoning. President Mahama is also expected to hold bilateral meetings with other African leaders and heads of multilateral organizations and lead to participate in an Italy-African reform. Also in Addis Ababa will be the First Lady, Ms. Lordina Dramani Mahama, who will attend the summit of the Organization of Africa, First Ladies for Development. President Mahama and First Lady are expected to return to Accra Monday, 16 February 2026. Ghana's fight against HIV is receiving refreshed attention this Valentine's season as the Ghana's AIDS Commission prepares to distribute thousands of condoms and HIV test kits across the country. The nationwide exercise will take place on February 13th to mark International Condom Day, a day observed globally ahead of Valentine's Day to promote safe sex and reduce the spread of HIV/AIDS and other sexually transmitted infections. Speaking in an interview, the Director General of Ghana AIDS Commission, Dr. Prosper Akambon, said this year will be the first time Ghana formally observes the day. 13th of February has always been World Condom Day, and in fact, of the first time Ghana will be observing it. Dr. Akambon explained that the initiative is being led by the Ghana AIDS Commission in partnership with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, which is entering Ghana for the first time. Ghana AIDS Commission is leading this with the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, who are now entering Ghana for the first time. So we will launch it on the 13th of February, he stated. According to him, the main aim is to raise awareness and encourage condom use, especially during the Valentine period, when many people celebrate romantic relationships. This is where we bring the awareness of the use of condoms. It's part of the strategy to make sure people get to know that, look, there's International Condom Day. Let's use condoms and we can get the public awareness about condoms, he said. There will be various types that will be there, flavored, non-flavored, and all those kinds of condoms, Dr. Akambon added. The distribution forms part of the broader effort to prevent the transmission and spread of HIV/AIDS, particularly during festive periods when the risks of unsafe sex may increase. HIV test kits are also being dispatched nationwide to encourage people to know their status. When asked about concerns that some men avoid condoms because of complaints about size and comfort, Dr. Akambon acknowledged that such precipitations exist, but said the importance of protection. We get to know that there are some times that there were condoms in the system. They said they were very smaller for Ghanaian men. Holders of the Ghanaian passport can now travel to about 50 countries without visa. This number is expected to increase the coming days as Ghanaians sign more visa-waived agreements with other countries. This was disclosed by the Foreign Affairs Minister, Samuel Ojokizetu Abalekwa, on the sidelines of the ongoing AU summit in the Addis Ababa, Ethiopia on February 12. This development, the minister believes, will expand travel opportunities and boost trade for Ghanaian businesses as it increases the country's relevance globally. Expect more visa waiver agreements this year, even within the month of March. You will be hearing some good news. April, some good news. May there will be some good news. Expect more, he told journalists. He, however, did not mention the countries. According to Mr. Ablakwa, we went the Ghanaian passport to the most valuable passports in Africa and one of the most valuable anywhere in the world. And we are on course. We are very much on course. He commended staff of the ministry of their hard work and urged them to forge ahead. I am excited about the progress we are making, and I want to congratulate the team of diplomats I work with who are helping me in the negotiations and who are in the advance team doing a lot of heavy lifting as we negotiate with all of these countries. I am really excited about what we are achieving with visa waivers since I became foreign minister, he noted. He also touted the security features of the new passports. Remember that the passport itself Many people do not know that it's now probably the most securable in terms of security features we have. It's now fully chipped embedded, no longer biometric, and we are ahead of so many countries, Mr. Ablakwa stressed. For Ghanaian businesses, this means easier access to new markets. Tourism also stands to grow. With reciprocal arrangements, encourage more visitors into Ghana, supporting hospitality, aviation, and related industries. Before I end the news, headline recaps. Government sets new farm gate cocoa price at 41,392 per ton for 2025 to 2026 season. Minority demands removal of cocoa board CEO over cocoa sector crisis. Mahama departs Accra for AU head of summit in Addis Ababa. Ghana aids Commission to distribute condoms nationwide on February 13th ahead of Vows Day. My name is Samira Franklin. The end of the news. Up next, Sports News. Good morning.